Tonight, Hurricane Katia has grown into a Category 4 storm. I don't know about you, I'm getting used to this heat by now.
Yeah, I'm not done with it, though, if it's possible.
The University of Tulsa's football team suffers a huge setback. The reaction to bin Laden's death was swift and stunning, even to those covering the war in Afghanistan. People are just kind of walking around in a daze. I know it's a cliche, but it's like a bomb dropped right here. She was trapped there for 30 minutes, and she saw a hole in the ceiling where she could wave some insulation. And to top it off, the weather has been horrible today. We're inside the satellite truck now because there's too much lightning outside. Saving money on that trip to the grocery store takes more than just cutting out coupons. That certainly helps. And we were waiting for her when she came out. You know what the fine is now?
No.
If they enforce it, it's $500.
Is it really?
This is a pretty good sized fire at the Holly Refinery, just southwest of downtown Tulsa. It started about an hour ago. News Channel 8's Elizabeth Kenny looked into this. 9 cases where the parents were frantic for a while. What's a parent to do? We have a change in the season, sort of, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of.
Feels like fall, doesn't it?
Yeah, today the unofficial end of summer, so yeah, it feels like fall.
I'm getting used to this weather. First at 5 today, it's not the holiday dozens of people in Henrietta were hoping for. A devastating apartment fire there has left them homeless. More than 30 people were forced out when flames raced through the building around 3:30 this morning. Channel 8's Latoya Silman reports on the damage. Some neighbors suspect a meth lab is to blame for that fire, but the cause is still under investigation tonight. Also today, the Highway Patrol is searching for an armed robbery suspect. Funeral arrangements are pending for former Sooner and NFL great Leroy Selman. The 56-year-old died yesterday in Tampa, 2 days after suffering a major stroke. His sudden death has shocked his family and legions of fans. Well, Labor Day is considered by many to be the unofficial end of summer, and they might be right. Chief Meteorologist Frank Mitchell is in the Storm Center right now, and Frank, it feels a lot like fall, doesn't it?
Cool weather all week.
All right, thanks, Frank. Great weather here, but the wild weather continues for the Northeast. That includes a tornado near Albany, New York. Well, it isn't carrying the strong winds it was packing earlier, but what's left of Tropical Storm Lee is drenching parts of the southeast. It is also threatening to dump more rain along the East Coast, still soggy from Hurricane Irene. ABC's Yunji Denise is in New Orleans. Still to come, remembering September 11th, details on how Tulsa will commemorate the 10th anniversary. Plus, a new warning from the government about possible attacks. We'll tell you what they're looking for. It will no doubt be a week of tough memories and also tributes as we approach the 10th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. As the anniversary nears, federal officials are reminding local law enforcement to be on high alert. City of Tulsa is commemorating the 10th anniversary of 9/11 with what's being called a 3-part experience. Events will take place next Sunday on the anniversary in or near the BOK Center. Channel 8's Laura Moss has more. It was a great morning to get out and enjoy the nice weather with this year's Sun Fest and Run to the Sun. That event, sponsored by the Parkview Baptist Church, featured a fun run along with a 5K run. Sunfest is an annual event to allow Tulsans to take part in a run through a scenic neighborhood and also chow down on a free pancake breakfast. What a great day for that.
Yeah.
All right. So Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer.
That's
so
right.
It's unofficially our way of saying goodbye to summer.
And a lot of people want to say goodbye to summer. It wasn't a great summer weather-wise, right?
No, it wasn't.
I think a lot of people will be happy.
Yeah, we're used to our lows being 85.
That's right. Not too long ago, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Coming up next, a great day at the ballpark as the Drillers wrap up their season. Plus, crowning a king of the wing. Competitive eaters square off in Buffalo, and a new world record is set. Welcome back in Buffalo. The king of the wing has been named, and it's a queen. Sonia the Black Widow Thomas emerged victorious at the 10th annual Buffalo Chicken Wing Festival.
And they won today, 4-2, so they ended in the season on a good note.
Beautiful. All right, thanks, Rick. Turn off the AC for sure tonight, right?
Yeah, we did that at our house today.
Thanks for joining us. ABC's World News with Diane Sawyer is coming up next. We'll see you back here at 6. There's more news, weather, and sports online at KTUL.com. We'll see you soon.
Keep calm and carry on. That was Mayor Bartlett's catchphrase from his State of the City address today.
The mayor says Tulsa is doing well and continued growth is on the way. Channel 8's Burt Mumolo has just returned from City Hall. He's live in the news center with more. Burt? By the way, if you'd like to read the entire State of the City address, visit our website at KTUL.com for a link. All right, thanks, Taft. Tulsa firefighters kept plenty busy overnight and this morning trying to put out flames in several locations around town.
In East Tulsa.
An Oklahoma police chief is charged with drug trafficking following a traffic stop in Sapulpa. Melvin Fisher Jr. of Valley Brook, that's an Oklahoma City suburb, was arrested on Labor Day along with a passenger. Well, right now we're sandwiched in between the summer travel season and the holiday travel frenzy. It's an opportunity for easier, less crowded, and sometimes less expensive autumn getaways. Here are some tips on planning a fall trip in tonight's Money coverage you can count on. Thanks to the shaky economy and high fuel prices. And if you plan to travel with the kids, we mentioned this week there will soon be new procedures at the security checkpoints after TSA agents get the necessary training. Kids younger than 12 will be allowed to keep their shoes on as well as get multiple passes through machines before a pat-down screening.
Next, a fruit recall involving stores here in Oklahoma. What could be lurking inside your fridge?
Plus some big competition wrapped up in a tiny package. Miniature horses storm Expo Square. Check your fridge. Cantaloupe from Colorado is now being recalled. It could be contaminated with listeria. It was shipped from Jensen Farms between July 29th and September 10th under the labels Frontera and Rocky Fords. Well, there's a tiny stampede storming Tulsa's Expo Square this coming weekend. It's touted as the best and biggest little horse show in the world. And I can hear a lot of people say right now, I want one of those.
I know, they're so cute. And you just put them in the backyard if only zoning would allow it.
All right, coming up in sports with the top 10 team coming to town. Why are there so many tickets left for Saturday's Tulsa-Oklahoma State game?
And when we come back, see how this bobsled is helping fight breast cancer.
Who would ever think a bobsled could help fight breast cancer? Sliding for Hope is happening over at BMW of Tulsa. For a $50 donation online, they'll put the name of a breast cancer victim or survivor of your choice on this bobsled. Chuck, I've never seen anything like this before. Parts of the city are completely unrecognizable, total devastation. Cars and trucks are stacked and strewn everywhere. Power lines are down. People are just walking aimlessly, searching through the rubble. And to top it off, the weather has been horrible today. We're inside the satellite truck now because there's too much lightning outside to be safe to be outside right now, and it's been raining all day today. It is a very sad, sad sight for so many people. You know, everywhere you look is just total devastation. 360 degrees here. A lot of these are neighborhoods here, houses that are completely gone. There's a Red Cross over there right now talking to another camera crew. Over here, more houses. You just see the trees that are just bare of any branches and of course leaves. Cars that are stacked and strewn just about everywhere. We saw one down there. It was literally wrapped around a tree. And we just walked by an American flag that somebody had put up there. And we're seeing a lot of X's, and that means that they've already checked this house or that house. And everywhere you look, you've got to be careful what you step on here. And we see all kinds of people that are just kind of like in a daze right now. They're looking to see if they can salvage anything from their house. We talked to an 83-year-old woman who saw what was left of her house just over here. First time she saw it since it was completely destroyed, and she was just completely overcome by that. Right over here you see they're doing some more search and rescue or recovery efforts right there, looking to see if they can find any victims in the rubble of that house there. And we're seeing that everywhere around here. People are just kind of walking around in a daze. I know it's a cliche, but it's like a bomb dropped right here for miles around. It's like a war zone. And like the woman I talked to, I asked her, what is she going to do now? And she said, you tell me what I'm going to do now. She had no idea. Unfortunately, that's the situation for so many people right now here in Joplin. By the way, behind me, framed by the door of our satellite truck, that's the St. John's Hospital we've heard and seen so much about the past almost 24 hours now. It took a direct hit, and they had to be evacuated, all the patients and people that work in there. And as soon as we arrived here in Joplin, we met that 83-year-old woman that I mentioned in the story. Such a gripping story, and we were there when she saw her damaged and destroyed house for the very first time, and we're going to talk to her tonight at 5 o'clock. Back to you guys. Well, the reaction to bin Laden's death was swift and stunning, even to those covering the war in Afghanistan. This morning, just hours after the news broke, I talked with veteran journalist Mike Betcher. He's one of only a few full-time reporters embedded with our troops. Here's a portion of my interview with Betcher via Skype.
I was sort of stunned and still, trying to imagine what this means in the long run.
Do you think there will be a sense of heightened alert among the troop, the soldiers now? Is it, for a lack of a better term, will be business as usual?
These soldiers will go on with their mission. Their mission is to find their enemy, which is the Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters who are here, and to allow the growth of Afghan governance in these formerly ungovernable areas of Afghanistan. And that's what they will continue to do.
Bradshaw was stunned by the news, but what about the troops? What's their reaction to bin Laden's death? I'll share that with you tonight at 6:30. Well, part of that feedback comes from a longtime driving instructor, and he shared with me the surprising results of a 3-year survey on teens and texting.
What you did last night was wonderful.
Jerry Walters has been training new drivers for 12 years, and he's talking about our elaborate test, which included 11 cameras and 6 unsuspecting people. We sent them down an obstacle course with a cell phone, only telling them that they were being graded on how quickly they followed directions under stress, orders they were getting by talk and text. What we didn't tell them is that we wanted to see if they would be so distracted on the phone that they would miss some obvious things around them. Well, it turns out most, if not all, didn't see anything, including the $100 bill, the girl holding a dog, and even the clown.
There was a clown? I didn't even see that.
Driving instructor Walter says our test shows how cell phones can also be a distraction for drivers. He's pushing for stricter laws banning talking and texting, especially for new teenage drivers. And about that shocking survey of his young tech-savvy students,
they're saying no cell phones. Do not use a cell phone in a car.
Are you surprised by that?
I was surprised.
Walters estimates that more than 80% of his students are for a cell phone driving ban. What does this say that kids, the young drivers, are saying that there needs to be laws against that?
I believe it. I think they want some type of persuasion from someone else beside their parents.
That's interesting, and because of that, as well as new hands-free technology in cars, Walters believes today's teenagers may become a safer generation of drivers. Mark Bradshaw, News Channel 8.